Do you want to make your thinking a lot better than it is right now as you get older? I know I do. One of the hardest things is to keep myself focused and concentrated. And I work in the field of research, and losing the ability to focus and stay concentrated is a big frustration. And believe me, it even gets worse when you have some sleep deprivation. So, I'm MC. If you want to learn more about this, stay with me through the rest of this episode and let's talk about it. And think about subscribing. I'm a health psychologist who has over 30 years of research. I have a PhD in health psychology, which I had to go back because I'm doing research myself in chronic pain. And so let's discuss how we can help ourselves have better brain health into our 80s and 90s. Be well. Let's talk about it. So, what is it that we can do to help our thinking? Oh my gosh, I totally want to do that. One of the things that I was so encouraged about when I listened to the Huberman Lab podcast, it was a 3-hour discussion with Rhonda Fitzpatrick, I think. I always want to call her Fitzpatrick, but maybe it's Kirkpatrick. I don't know. I'll leave a link in the show notes. At about 2 hours, I'll leave that time too. You can hear their discussion about creatinine and also too omega-3s. And I think you'll find it very interesting. So creatinine monohydrate, that's what I'm taking. I found a wonderful product that has, of course, it is third-party verified. It's vegan, it's non-GMO, it doesn't have anything in it other than creatinine monohydrate. So, if 5 grams, a scoop. And that's what I'm taking. And basically, what the studies have shown is that it has great help when we're talking about physical performance. But where the research has really shown some great signs of improvement is our brain function and cognition. There's been memory improving, attention, processing speed, and a single high dose of creatinine can help you with sleep deprivation. A single dose. Can you believe that? I'm going to try this more frequently. I get tired of taking supplements. I don't know about you. I'm taking a supplement for this, a supplement for that. It's like, how many supplements can you take? But when you start to understand that as we age, the process of getting everything we need from our nutrients is not that effective, and we need to help ourselves as much as we possibly can. And we have some very good data when it comes to taking creatinine, or it's really creatine. Creatinine is the kidney waste byproduct. It's creatine monohydrate. My apologies. I'm not good at sometimes at pronouncing these scientific words and chemicals. It's not my thing. I'm a psychologist. What can I say? I like behavior. And so behavior is part of the process, is you have to learn what works for you and what doesn't. And frankly, the studies show that creatine, I got it right that time, has been a very good sign of safety, doesn't damage the kidney in healthy people, and that the worst side effect is that it may cause you some temporary water retention. So you really need to discuss this though with your doctors. If you have any kind of kidney or other kinds of issues like diabetes or other problems, no matter what it is, anytime you want to take a supplement of anything, I just can't impress upon you enough to talk to your primary care provider because they can help you understand the big picture. Sure, do you think that there's a possible placebo effect here? Sure. There's a placebo effect in everything. And I really encourage you to listen to the Huberman Lab when they talk about this because there is always the potential for placebo, and it can still give you the same benefit. But the research that's been shown out there with people who have neurodegenerative diseases, where their cognition is really declining, when they were given creatine monohydrate, it really helped their thinking processes. It was improved where they could actually measure it and see a benefit. Now, granted, these studies are small still, and there's still much more to be investigated. And I think what's always very frustrating is that we don't have the research dollars to really investigate things that are already on the market. Creatine is pretty safe and it's not allowed in athletics because it is well known to improve physical health, your physical performance. So they don't want physical athletes to be taking creatine. And so they have to be very effective because it does boost muscle strength. It helps you with your exercise capacity. It will give you some great benefits, and you just have to be willing to deal with maybe a little bloating when you first start taking it because it does retain water. So we're all working towards having a better understanding. And creatine, I think where we've understood what's going on in the research is that it can show that this is helping our aging. It supports muscle and bone health, and especially in women who are postmenopausal. We have a decline in estrogen. And though there's not a great deal of research out there, which is unfortunate, we need to understand that older adults have found that creatine combined with exercise training improved strength compared to placebo. So if you're doing exercise with weights and you take some creatine, you can definitely start to see improvements in your body. So again, talk to your primary care doctor. Don't start taking a supplement. Investigate what's best for you, because ultimately you have to be the person who is driving how you're going to age as you get older. And we all know that there are things out there. I spoke about omega-3 in a previous, things that we can do to help ourselves as far as understanding our health and our wellness. And it is never a single thing. It's always doing things that are multi-pronged combinations, because truthfully, we can't just do one thing as we get older. We don't know how well we're going to age sometimes. Sometimes things happen and it's the unexpected that we're trying to prepare for, because no matter what, we're aging. I'm going to be reaching 70 in just a few years, so I know it's coming. And I'm okay with it, but I want to do everything I can. Even though I had a hip replacement last year, I'm improving. But I recognize that being someone who couldn't do any kind of exercises, not even walk very far, for most of last year was a real challenge for my body. And see, as we get older, if we start losing muscle strength or bone mineral density, it's very challenging to regain it. So we have to do everything we can to stay healthy, keep our bone mass, keep our muscle mass, keep our brain functioning as much as we possibly can. And especially if you aren't capable of doing the exercise as frequently as you need because you have an injury, why not take some creatine, monohydrate, and make sure that it is a well-produced product that is verified by a third party. And speak to your primary care provider, because I'm a health psychologist. I'm not an MD. I'm someone who does research in behavior. And one of the most difficult things we know about behavior is we resist everything. We resist change like nobody's business. We have a hard time dealing with change. So let's help ourselves and take a little creatine. Even if you don't remember to take it every day, maybe if you just remember it when you've had a poor night of sleep. Whatever it is, talk to your primary care providers, investigate a good product, and consider investigating creatine. And I'm going to leave the Huberman Lab's discussion that you can go and take a further, they do a deep dive about the creatine and omega-3, and I think everyone should listen to that podcast. So be well, my friends. We have this one precious life. Please think about subscribing and joining me here each week where we can motivate one another to be the very best version of who we are well into our 80s and 90s. That's my wish for you and me. So please subscribe. Please join me here, and I'll see you next week. Okay? Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.